Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Tea with Glenn, our first ever podcast. I am the namesake, Mr. Glenn, and I am joined by
Lily Hazlett, Kenna Shoemaker, and Alayla Virgil.
So since this is our first one, we threw out on Twitter, Instagram, and every other man, God, female, animal created social media page and asked for your questions. So starting off today, we are going to interact with questions. You can reach out to us via what?
Twitter.
Instagram.
Snapchat.
What's the username?
At TeawithGlenn for all three.
There we go.
And YouTube.
TeawithGlenn, that's T-E-A.
with Glenn. It's on the board as well. It's just at TeawithGlenn.
All right, so hit us with our first question.
Okay, so our first question was, is fire alive by Not a Llama?
Is fire alive?
I don't know how to react to that, honestly.
Is fire alive?
I mean, technically fire is an element, so technically speaking, by physics, yes and no.
I am not a physicist, nor
I'm
a
not
scientist. I music sometimes.
Yeah, music sometimes.
So I don't really know, but that's a great question. Thank you.
Next one.
Next one from Andrew Glenn.
Oh, that's me.
Why do people have nicknames?
Okay.
Now, this question was brought upon by
You're complaining about somebody's nickname.
why Eliza is called Eliza, even though her name is Elizabeth. Do you two care to share on why she would be called Eliza, even though her name is Elizabeth?
It's shorter than Elizabeth, so it's just like, yo, Eliza, instead of, yo, Elizabeth.
Yeah, but think about...
Wait. I am a good example of this. Considering my name's Alayla and no one ever knows how to say it, I'm occasionally called Al.
Oh, yeah.
That's just
Lily
A-L.
calls her Al.
Al.
So, I mean, there's a reason
I'm occasionally
people have...
called Al.
I mean, I guess I kind of get it because my name is actually McKenna. Don't tell anyone. And
We call her Kenna.
everyone calls me Kenna. So I guess I understand nicknames. Nicknames are just used to shorten people's names. So
My
I
name's
get
just
it.
Lily. I don't have any real full name.
Right,
But her nickname is Lilith.
Lilith, which is longer than Lily, so I don't see why
Really longer.
but one of my friend's parents solved this problem already because the idea that he had is when she was going to be born, her mom was like, we'll call her Alexandra. We'll call her Alex for short. So then her dad sat there and went, let's just call her Alex. Oh. So her legal name is Alex, and her dad calls her Alexandra as a nickname.
See, that's just, you gotta love parents like that. 12 out of 10, guys.
Great parenting.
Okay. This next question we have is, what is the origin story of At Tea with Glenn?
Is that at me? Are you adding me?
I think we should let Mr. Glenn explain
go
this.
ahead,
Why
yeah.
did Tea with Glenn start?
Like,
Why did
how
you
did this
you
start?
ask us to be a part of this?
Well, I mean, Tea with Glenn has been something that's 4 years in the making now. Because, I mean, over the past 4 years, every so often in class, people are like, you should have a podcast. I would listen. I don't know if anyone's going to listen past our live studio audience. Hi, live studio audience.
Live studio
Hi.
Just based off of the random stuff that I say. And so everyone's always like, oh, just make a podcast. And after 4 years of listening to it, here we are. And if we get a second episode, awesome.
Awesome.
And you asked each of us to join why?
Because why not?
Specifically, each
Because
one
we're
why.
great. 'Kay?
Because
We are
you
great.
tend to be the main conversation starters at lunch,
You right.
as well as the main communicators of life.
Oh.
Of life.
When you come in here every day
Okay.
for a half hour for lunch.
Half hour.
But we'll also have special guests. We have our first special guest lined up for when we come after break.
After break, first
Break.
little
And
Tune in,
then-
make sure you come.
We already have another teacher who wants to come on, so.
Oh.
But that will be a surprise for later.
Tune in for that.
So our next question is from V, and it is, how do you feel about the Hicks tape? Hashtag BTS Army.
Mind you, I do not know what this is.
I don't know
I
what
do.
this is either.
I know what this is because I am what you call a K-pop fan.
Oh, no.
Okay, so Hicks tape is a nickname for a mixtape
That's a little
by...
understated.
Shut up, I'm talking. Okay, so Hixtape is short for Hope. Mixtape. So Hixtape is a new album by the beautiful Sunshine Boy, J-Hope. His mixtape recently came out, and honestly, since I'm the only one who listened to it, I think it's great. It is beautiful. 10 out of 10.
Well, as long as Lily liked it,
It's
good.
approved.
Now, next question
From Kitten.
from Kitten.
When you were younger, did you become the person you dreamed to be? So what did you want to be when you were younger?
Oh man, I wanted to be a singer, so yeah, I did.
Cool.
I kind of surpassed everything I thought I was gonna be.
Oh.
Well, we got ourselves a,
No, because I always thought I was gonna be like that shy little girl that never said anything, never had friends, never spoke up, and then now I'm doing a freaking podcast. Let's go.
What about you, Glenn?
When I was really young, over by where my parents live in Phoenix, there's a Coke bottling factory. So I would sit there, and every time we drive past it, I was like, I'm going to be a Coke truck driver. High aspirations of 6-year-old Mr. Glenn.
Beautiful.
But then got into like middle school, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to be an architect. And that lasted up until about sophomore year, when I got a very low grade in a math class. And started doing some, hitting the mic, started doing some research into what an architect does, and there's a lot of math involved. So I decided against that. And then my junior year, when everybody in the world goes, you should decide what you're going to do for the rest of your life, because high school, I sat down and went, well, I like music. It's fun. My music teacher seems to have fun every day. I want to share the excitement and passion that I have for music with other people. I guess I'll try out for music school and be a music ed major. And then I got accepted, went with one of my friends from high school, and we went through the program together, and here I am now. And I never thought that I would be podcasting from my classroom.
So your answer is yes.
So I would say
The answer is yes.
Personally, in 3rd grade, we got asked, what do you want to be when you grow up? Everyone was like, yeah, I want to be a princess, or I want to be a doctor. I wanted to be a bird.
You know, I'm not surprised.
My reason is because I wanted to, because I always liked flying, like in planes, and I was like, you know what, if I could fly myself, I could be a bird. So I wanted to be a bird.
Lily, everyone. Lily.
I mean, Noah told Allie she could be a bird in the Notebook, so that works too.
Bringing out the Notebook references. Oh man, that's a good one. That's beautiful.
Our next
Very
question.
beautiful. And our next question here is from someone at Crazy Hates. If you had to pick one tea to recommend for someone who has never had tea, which would you choose?
That sweet tea. That sweet tea life.
About that sweet tea vibe?
Yeah. Since my wife is from Texas, she's like, oh, sweet tea, which is basically just
Sugar.
brown water with tons of sugar in it. Which, for all of our non-existent Texas listeners, when you come back and watch the first episode, I apologize in advance, but
Yeah, exactly.
it is super good, but it's super bad for you, as we found out. Sweet tea lowers your iron levels, everybody. So something to keep in mind for the future. If you're trying to keep your iron up, don't drink
Don't
sweet
drink
tea.
sweet tea.
I
Yep.
personally recommend a lemon tea because lemon, it's great, and put a little blue agave. 10 out of 10.
I would have to say, for someone who's, if you've never drank tea before, I wouldn't recommend like Lipton tea or like brown sugar water or like Arizona tea, which is also just sugar water, because it's not actually tea. I would use like Celestial Seasonings is what it's called. It's a good brand. Earl Grey tea is also very good. There's lots of different. You gotta try herbal teas if you've never had tea before.
Earl Grey tea is not a regular tea.
No,
it's a
it's a
dessert tea. It's a dessert tea. You don't understand. Okay.
My bad.
For those who don't know what Earl Grey tea is, it's a very expensive tea. So it's not very common unless you are rich and you just buy all the Earl Grey tea you want. Well, it's dessert tea for everyone. So basically, when you get the tea, I'm gonna tell you how to make it. Okay, you get the tea, you put your tea bag in, pour the hot water on top, bash that tea bag around. Then you get a glump of creamer. Glump.
A
Then
glump of
2
creamer.
spoons of sugar and stir it in, and there you go, dessert tea.
Dessert tea. Beautiful, Lily. Thank you for that. Alayla?
Personally, this is mostly, I think, just because me and my dad have the same taste. When I was younger, he introduced me to just plain cold peach tea, so I'd have to go
Ooh.
with peach tea.
Peach tea is also very good. Okay, our next question is...
I have one.
We has one. Go for it.
Okay, so this is from, I don't know, but what is the most
Love that
embarrassing thing that has ever happened to you? I actually have a funny story that goes with that.
Okay.
Okay, so...
Start us off.
Lily's going again.
So I've always felt like I was outgoing, but it turns out that I actually
Nah.
have major stage fright.
Oh.
So I was gonna do a dance for the talent show one year. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna choreograph my own dance. It's gonna be cool. Mind you, I was in 3rd grade at the time.
Okay.
So
Makes
I
sense.
went to audition, and I just stood there. The music was playing, and I just stood there shaking. And one of them was like, "Are you good?" And all the other contestants that were trying out were watching me, and I was like, "I gotta go now. Bye."
That's wonderful.
So that's what happened for that. Yeah.
What? I don't really think I can say most embarrassing. I mean, it happens on a daily basis.
Me too.
Rolling out of bed.
Most embarrassing. Let's go with 2nd grade. Okay.
Oh, yay.
Very
Throwing it
first
back.
crush, mind you. I had such confidence, such guts. I was like, I'm gonna tell him I like him. You know what? Let's go. I went and I told him I liked him, and he said he'd rather not.
Oh! Poor Layla got rejected.
He'd rather not. I was like, okay, that works.
Wow.
Mr. Glenn, do you have a embarrassing moment?
Mr. Glenn doesn't really get embarrassed. I mean, you can go find my high school YouTube channel out there on the interwebs. If you can figure it out. I made. Nope.
Oh.
If you know my Xbox Live gamer tag, you can find it. Or if you just know my name, because YouTube switched all those back in college, and I don't know how to log back in. But I don't care. I don't really get embarrassed. You can find Carson's older brother in one of those videos where we are legitimately dressed in drag with like pink and purple wigs and tutus. And yeah, you can go find it.
So what I'm
if you
hearing
find it,
is-
you can post a link below.
That's what I'm saying. What I'm hearing is next episode we explore all of Glenn's old YouTube videos.
They're not that exciting.
Drag
only like
queen
4.
Glenn, yes.
Yes.
It was for band camp, okay? My high school, for band camp, each section got together and they made videos.
Oh, no.
And so, let's see, Thursday night was senior night. Wednesday night, we would all sit down and we would watch them. And the drum majors usually would be like, haha, we got access to the staff, so here's like the teacher and the drum tech, haha. And then drumline, usually they would be filming it like right before they get on bus, and they edit it on their way up to camp. And so you're like, hey, there's me loading the bus in the background of your shot. Cool. But we decided to go use my parents' house and just run around my parents' house. You can see my younger brothers in it. Carson's younger brother's in one of them. And so we made one, and then we made a sequel to it second year.
Oh,
But they had like,
sequels.
the first year, the theme was musicals. So everybody had a musical based one. We used the Pokemon theme song because 2008. And then the next year,
It's all about that Camp Rock, though.
well, we were in high school. Camp Rock was like so
High School
6th graders.
Musical.
High School Musical came out when I was in 8th grade, so
Oh.
we thought we were cool because we're like, ooh, we're gonna know what's happening next year.
You were in 8th grade when I was in kindergarten?
Yeah.
I'm done.
And then the following year, our drum major thought it would be creative to have like a list of items you have to have in your video. So like someone's literally holding up like floss, and someone else is like, a broom is in the corner. just so that way we can be like, we got the items in the video. It was more about our great acting skills.
Oh.
I'm gonna start a master class on acting 101 soon.
All right.
You're taking Miss Schultz's job.
Well, I'm already going after the math department, so
True. I would have to say, for an embarrassing moment, I'm kind of on the same page as Glenn. That's what I was gonna say. Is I don't really embarrass easily because I'm really just kind of person that will like laugh anything off. So
Very
it's
true.
like,
Very true.
I mean, like,
it's a
for
good way to
example,
operate in life.
today I was told that I was wearing an apron instead of a dress, and instead of crying in the corner like I wanted to, I just laughed it off.
Okay, I didn't think that was that mean. Okay, I walk into class and all I see is the little swirlies in front. I'm like, the heck is she wearing?
Yeah. No, it wasn't that bad, but it was
I
just.
made it. Thanks.
Tell me this is not an apron. Stand up.
It's not an apron, it's a dress.
Tell me it's not an apron.
It's a dress.
I made it.
And Lily made it.
You look like you're about to make tortillas with your hair up in the back.
Let me pull my chancla.
That was chocolate.
This is why we have multicultural friends. Lily snorts a lot. This is an intro to the podcast. Just Lily snorting the theme song. Okay.
And I laugh like a hyena.
Yeah, we all have very interesting laughs. That's for sure.
What have I done?
Okay. Do we have any more questions, or are we ready to wrap this up?
Do you want to throw it out to your live studio audience?
Our live studio audience. Oh, Michaela, didn't you have a question?
Yeah, what was Mr. Glenn's drag name that we gave him last semester?
Venus de la Glenza.
Only
By
the
the way,
finest.
we have casual drag every Thursday.
And
Look forward
casual
to that.
drag.
Casual drag.
Any other questions to our live studio audience? Yes, go for it.
Can I hear your best dad jokes?
Best
Yes,
dad
I
jokes.
got yes,
you. Okay.
yes, you can.
Lily's the queen of dad jokes.
Water though, cause like, no.
We have technology around now. We can't be doing spit takes.
Can't be doing spit takes.
Okay,
Okay,
so
Anyway.
go Lily. Let's get it.
Kenna, you already know all of mine. You can't
I
say
can't say
anything.
anything. Anyway.
Okay. Why aren't koalas considered bears?
Why?
They don't have any qualifications.
Funny.
Okay.
Good.
Next one.
What do you call a sad cup of coffee? Depresso. I actually love that one.
I got one. You ready for this? Okay.
If it pains me, I'll punch my stomach.
Oh my god. What's the difference between a old bus stop and a lobster with breast implants?
Nothing. They're both
What?
crusty.
One is a crusty bus station, and the other one is a busty crustacean. That's a knee slapper.
What a cracker.
Every time.
What do you call an elephant that doesn't matter?
What?
An irrelevant?
Yes.
I punched myself.
Dumbo!
I need to throw up.
Spoiled Ada.
I loved him. He just flew like plop.
What's the man's name who lost his car?
Huh?
Carlos.
Oh my god.
That was good. What's brown and sticky?
Don't
A
say
stick.
I'm done.
Get your mind out of the gutter. This is PG-13, sir.
it. No, see, I heard that. I didn't even think of that. And I absolutely hated that joke.
See, that's how innocent I am. I didn't even think of that.
Oh, look at the innocent over here. We have a saint over here.
Wait,
Alright,
where?
I got a question for you guys.
Okay.
Okay, this one's for you, Mr. Glenn. You said you have Xbox Live. What's your favorite game?
Like, what's my favorite game of all time, or what's my favorite Xbox game? My favorite game of all time is Final Fantasy 12. Me, my high school percussion instructor, and a couple of our other friends, we would do speed runs. That's how big of a nerd I am. My wife now knows. She found out after I married. The fastest time I've gotten through Final Fantasy 12 is just under 3 hours. But we would also speed run bosses. We had multiple saves. We're that cool.
Wow.
I was not single in high school either, so take that, everyone.
What are you trying to say?
You should be in marching band will solve your problem.
Oh yeah, being a marching band's gonna get me a boyfriend real quick.
Yep.
I mean,
yep.
actually, yeah.
And yeah.
Honestly, like we joke.
You know what? You know what?
That's how I got my first boyfriend, was through marching band.
Ta-da.
I'm already a very musical theater, as Miss Darbus would say. From
Musical.
High School Musical. I don't think joining marching band's gonna help my case.
You know, it might.
Can't
Do
make it
color
any
guard.
worse.
Color guard.
Yeah, color guard's gonna help.
It might. You never know, man.
It can help you with dancing.
Yeah, color guard could be.
Did you just say I need help on dancing?
Oh, oh, oof. It's hitting the
Not
fan.
necessarily.
Okay, K-popster.
Oh,
I love how this went from asking for your video game to all of a sudden insulting you.
I know, just insulting each other.
Okay, one podcast episode, we'll just have a roast fest.
We're just gonna roast
People
each
can
other.
roast us.
Oh yeah, we'll just be
Oh,
like
I'll be ready
hashtag
for that.
roast tea with Glenn.
Roast you.
Roast tea.
Okay, next question.
I don't have any more questions. So.
You don't?
Did Lily
No.
have any more?
No,
I don't have any.
To finish answering the question that came before, currently I am playing Rainbow Six Siege.
Ooh. What's your main? What is your main?
Defense or attack?
Either.
Defense, we are going with Legion. And then on attack, currently rotating between Dokube and Zofia. It's Dokube. I know it is.
Currently Snapchatting.
Yeah, I
or-
know it
or
is.
filming.
However, when you ring their phone, you're just trying to hit them up, so you're trying to be Bay. Dokube. Get on my level with dem memes. Talk to our Lord and Savior Tachanka. And then when you're ready, hashtag Nerfella. And Lion is underpowered. I'll go ahead and say that. So easy to trick. But this is not a Siege podcast.
Siege podcast.
I have a question.
Especially because
I have
we
answers.
to leave.
Oh, we have a question. Yes, Michaela.
What is your favorite musical artist? Like, could be band or like.
Our Lord and Savior, Eric Whitaker.
Them locks of hair.
Wait, do you mean like someone who's like on the radio, or you mean like Broadway, or you mean like what?
Anyone, just musical artists.
one.
Can I have a category?
Can I have a category?
There's so
Sure.
Broadway, Garrett.
Broadway. Sierra Boggess when she plays Christine in Phantom of the Opera. Oh my gosh, that performance changed my life. That was so good.
If we're going Broadway, Hugh Jackman.
Yes, the greatest show. Don't you want to away? No. Ladies and gents, this is the moment you've waited for.
I apologize to everyone's ears that just bled from that peaking.
R.I.P. headphone listeners.
I'm gonna listen to this with my.
Gonna have to put a warning in there now. Figure out what minute mark that is.
Here, let's do it a little quieter.
Though lunch is about to come to an end, sadly.
Wait, what time is it?
Very
It's
sad.
getting close. You got to do your wrap up, so let's hear that wrap up.
Okay, guys, make sure you hit that like, comment, share, subscribe. This has been.
Tea with Glenn.
We'll see you next time.
Thanks for watching.
Bye.
Okay, now in theory, this is gonna be the one to work. So it shouldn't have that awkward ring.
That's good.
But if I was to actively monitor it, just pop in some headphones so that way I can hear it.
Yeah.
But this way, it doesn't look like it's doing anything. We could probably boost yours
This
a little
mic?
higher. Yeah, now that I've been messing with it in settings.
Okay.
Here I go into settings. We're gonna boost it up a little bit. Let's try that now.
This mic? Is it better?
That's a little better.
Okay,
We're gonna
that's
find out in a second. Anyways, we've done so many takes of this. I hope you love it, everybody.